Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my little corner here in Wheeling, West Virginia. Today is Wednesday, July 10th. How y'all are? Halfway through the week. It's hump day. Hope your week is going well. Mine is. I cried myself to sleep last night, but I got my electric bill yesterday. It's been hot, it's been humid, and we've been running some AC to stay comfortable. So I guess I got to pay for it now. But that's the way it works, you know. I had Alex's house delivered. We had that, I put that video up yesterday. Been many questions since then. I will answer a couple of them with this video. I think that's the safest way to do it. Number one, St. Bernard Acres is never going to become a commune or a compound or a community of people. You know, this is my family homestead is what St. Bernard Acres is going to be. If my son wants to build a house on there, he can. If either son wants to build a house, he can. Right? It's not up for sale. It's not up for rent. You're not going to pay me $100 a month and be able to put a shed out there to convert for your weekend campouts. Never going to do that. Right? That whole kind of thing is turning out. There are several channels that are doing that. Prepper communities, if you will. You know what? What I see happening is on these channels, people are paying almost like having a homeowners association fee where you pay every month. But a lot of them, you have to commit a certain amount of time each month for working on projects that for the benefit of the community. Right? And you have to contribute funds or something to, again, the betterment of the community. If a project needs to be done, then everybody has to chip in, both financially and physically, to get it done, if it's a benefit for the community. That sounds a little like what we're facing now, you know, just on a small scale. So St. Bernard Acres is never going to be anything like that. You're never going to have to pay a homeowners association fee. But both my boys know that they will have to have some method of dealing with wastewater. You have to have some kind of a septic system and your water system. So be it rain catchment, be it a well, whatever, right? That's a requirement to live a normal life. It's not like a requirement I'm putting into place, but that's just how people live. So that's the way it's going to be. So let's get on to a couple questions. Number one, why 10 years ago when you had the 12 by 32 shed delivered out there, were you not allowed to use it? You had to get rid of it. And now you can, it seems. All right, a couple things. 10 years ago, this whole idea with tiny houses and, you know, the whole thing was kind of new, a novelty, if you will. A lot of them were tiny houses on wheels that you could move around to different locations. This is different. This is an actual home, a permanent home. A lot of people back then didn't know how to address any of the issues. Nobody knew about anything really. There weren't a lot of regulations in place, you know, stuff like that. So, and now it's much more acceptable because it's becoming the norm. You know, this is an excellent alternative for Alex, who can't afford the housing costs have become totally unaffordable for normal people. So this is an excellent alternative he will own his own house, completely done for $20,000 and not be in debt. So that's a good thing for Alex. That's why he's doing it. 10 years ago with mine, I brought it out there. I started working on it. I went to the county because I needed to get some answers about septic systems, how it worked. I didn't know anything. I was an absolute novice that knew nothing. Well, I go to the county. They're talking about minimum 900 square feet, 2 bedrooms. This has to, that's the minimum requirements. Like, wow, how is that possible? I don't understand. I'm building a 400 square foot house. I'm not allowed to do that, Well, part of the problem with that time back then, besides my just absolute stupidity and not understanding and not having researched thoroughly, right? Or even know the terminology they're speaking. I think where the confusion came in was the minimum size septic system that has to be installed. You have to put in a system based on a 900 square foot home with 2 bedrooms. That's the smallest system you're allowed to install, regardless of the size of your home. And I think that's where part of the not so much the house had to be that big, but the septic system had to be that big to accommodate a house that size. So that may have been part of my confusion back then. I still stand by, always check first before you make a move. With the cabin, it's only 12 by 16. It's a seasonable cabin. It's not a home. It's not a permanent home. It doesn't fall under any of those rules or anything. I don't have to have a septic system for a dry cabin. I use my marine toilet and, empty that out. So that works for that. Alex's house is legal. That's why it's legal now and it wasn't 10 years ago. I may have been wrong 10 years ago, but I didn't know and they didn't know. Nobody knew back then. So now we're all figuring it out. Number 2, why that location? Why it's close to the cabin, it's close to where you're building your house, it's kind of close to the road. Legit question. I have 10 acres out there. And like most affordable property in the foothills of the mountains and in all the hills and everything out there, affordable acreage, a lot of it is going to be vertical. I have a hill that goes down into a ravine, a gully, and up the other side to the other ridge, That's what you got to deal with. If I could take my 10 acres and flatten it out, I'd have about 25 acres. So you don't have the entire 10 acres to build on. I have enough area cleared to put up Alex's house, my house, Nick if he wants to build one out there. And we still have our chickens, gardens, practice a sustainable lifestyle. So you have to take that into consideration. If Alex wanted to put his house somewhere else, the expense of having it cleared out, another area cleared out, bringing in the bulldozer to grade a nice level area, to put a pad in, to put the building, the driveway, clearing a driveway and putting in a driveway somewhere else, then clearing an area that you could put a septic leach field in. So there's so many other expenses to not put it where he did, that it wasn't worth it. I don't have a problem with it being there. He's my son. He's not some stranger, Hell, he's lived in my house for most of his life. He could live 300 feet away from me if he wants. I don't have a problem with that. But by putting it where he did, we don't have to mess with another driveway. He's just going to put some gravel down where he's going to park his truck. That's all he needs. The benefit of building there, he and I can share the cost and the septic system, because I have to put in a septic system for a minimum of 2 bedrooms. I will have 1 bedroom. Alex will have 1 bedroom. There's the 2 bedrooms. We can feed to the same leach field. So there's a big savings there because we will get to split the cost of the septic. A well. He's close enough. We share the well. We share the expense of putting the well in. Right? The electric is right there. Yes, we have electric. We are not primitive. God bless all you people that want to live on solar and your greenies and all this kind of stuff. He's right there with the electric. There's no big expense like I had to go through to get electric brought to me. He's not going to have to do that because it's close enough. So those are the benefits to putting him there. But yeah, I wish it wasn't that close? Do I wish I had a lot more flat land and we had some of these channels, it's like they have unlimited financial resources. They can build whatever, wherever they want. Well, we can't do that. So we have to live within our means. Sometimes you have to get what you need, not what you want. You have to settle for that. In these trying times, especially. But I hope that addresses a couple of the questions. I don't know, It's just important to remember St. Bernard Acres is not becoming a commune or a cult or a compound or anything. If it becomes our family compound, then that's great. I have no problem with that. I love my kids. They can stay wherever they need to. But as long as they want to, and they both want to, so that makes me feel good. That they want to be where Dad is. So that makes me feel good. This just means they can live off of Dad longer. That's all it means. I know what's going on. But yeah, I hope that answers a couple of those questions. This will probably bring up even more questions. But let me know what you think about them. Am I headed in the right direction? Should I? I don't know what I'm doing here half the time. This is all being played by ear. But yeah, see, also I can share the responsibilities of upkeep of the place too. Alex can help mow, and it can be a big part of that. But anyway, this is Joe here in Wheeling. Hope y'all have a wonderful week. I'll see you on the next video. I'm out.